trends, yeah, like the fragmentation, because it's supposed to mirror the fragmented lives of people, people who have many identities, many beliefs. Sometimes religious beliefs will actually collide with their work beliefs and so on. So they live, they had, they were living fragmented lives. Okay, and then the situation was also bleak and unhappy because of the World War. Many people were killed and so on. So the only thing that brought progress was in the arts. They created newer ways of painting and so on. And in the postmodernism period, it's basically a continuation of this, but the mood has changed from um, unhappiness, being unhappy, to being happy, um, from weakness to more playful mood. Yeah? So we're still living in that age where we are experiencing postmodernity. Um, but there have been newer literary criticism that came after that, and one of that is eco-criticism. Okay, so anyone has any question to ask? Okay, so we move on. Okay, move on to a new topic. And oh, I'm sorry. Before that, I want to show you the Islamic perspective of postmodernism. Okay, so here's I like to show the Islamic perspective whenever I can. Okay, about all the theories, so that you can get the, so that we practice Islamization as well. Okay, in our class. So this is on Islamic response to postmodernism. Yeah. So the person who came up with the book on Islamic response to postmodernism is Zawuddin Sardar, his name, and he was born in Pakistan in 1951. He migrated to London as a child with his parents. He obtained a degree in physics and information science at the London City University. And then he worked as a reporter for London Weekend Television and hosted BBC program Islamic Conversations in 1994. He has taught at universities in the USA, where he established the Center for Future Studies at the East West University, Chicago. He has also worked at the Hajj Research Center at King Abdulaziz University, Jeddah. So Zawuddin Sardar works describe the challenge of retaining Muslim values in a modern world as the mega test that Muslims face. He says that Muslims need to appreciate the contemporary world, use contemporary technologies, and establish centers of learning, but at the same time critique modernity and see how Muslim societies can be modern yet transform modernity within. So he's not saying that Muslims can live in a modern era, can use contemporary technologies, establish centers of learning like university, our international university, but at the same time we cannot just accept modernity, our period. We have to react against it, or we have to show that we can be modern as well, but Islamic. So it can be both. He identifies postmodernity with hybridity, the role of media and rejection of meta-narratives. Meta-narratives are grand narratives like religion. So we have to work with it. Islam is itself a meta-narrative, right? Yeah, but we're living in an era where meta-narratives are, what do you call that, degraded in a way, rejected. Yeah? So how do we deal with this? So we have to come up with our solution to this, which could be integration, Islamization and integration. So he says that Muslims will not get a hearing in the postmodern world. Postmodernism superficially embraces cultural pluralism and also borrows ideas and images from across the world. However, it uses this for its own purposes, and divorcing them from their context, histories, and belief system. So, postmodernism superficially embraces cultural pluralism. It seems that we all live in a hybrid world, right? Where we live in Islam, but we also accept and eat Western food and so on. So we wear Western clothes and we also wear Eastern clothes. Okay, so we live in the hybrid world. Um, However, we must be aware that sometimes people use our images, for example, images of um, the word Allah, for example, to suit their own whims and fancies. Sometimes they print the word Allah on shoes and so on. So we live in that world where people sometimes borrow other people's culture and use them inappropriately. He also argues that postmodern project secularizes all narratives. He argues that while the other fascinates the postmodern project, it really views others as being out there for its own consumption. It turns others into commodities. So the other is the non-Western, and the non-Western is interesting to postmodernism because postmodernism believes that we live in a world that is hybrid and fragmented. So it wants to consume the other, wants to use the other. So, in order to sell products most of the time. So, example, the exotic Eastern woman is out there to fulfill the sexual desires of the male Western person. And another example is Madonna using Indian rhyme and words shanti, shanti, and shanti in her album Ray of Light. Okay, you can see Madonna also wears a kimono. Yeah, in order to sell her album, she wears a kimono in order to look shocking to people. And you can see from this also, I want to show to you a picture of Cardi B. Yeah? Cardi B. Um, this is Cardi B. Yeah? You know Cardi B, right? Yeah. So Indians. Yeah. So this picture of Cardi B causes outrage for because she tried to pose as the goddess Durga, who holds, I think, a series of what do you call that? I'm not really sure what she's holding there, but she's holding many things because she symbolizes many things. Um, so we hear Indians, yeah, Indians when they saw this picture, they were really unhappy with this picture because it symbolizes. It's meant to symbolize their one of their goddesses, yeah, Durga. So this is how Westerners sometimes they take images of the East and then appropriate them to serve, to sell something, to sell. In that case of Cardi B, to sell sneakers, shoes, because she was holding a shoe in the picture. So all of this perpetuates Western imperialism in the land of the melting pot, says Sarda. Postmodern ideology, through its representations of the other, enables America to claim itself as the literal embodiment of everywhere, so that it becomes the only place that actually gets represented. So in America, most of these things happen in America. Um, America, by representing all the other cultures, Indian cultures, Japanese culture, and so on. It claims to be the literal embodiment of everywhere. It seems to be the melting pot of all cultures. Okay, but in actual fact, it is not doing this because um, it only superficially supports cultural pluralism as it borrows ideas and images from across the world. However, he argues it utilizes this to serve its own purpose, while at the same time separating it from context, histories, and belief systems. So when Cardi B was borrowing, or the people who wanted to advertise the knickers, asked Cardi B to pose as the goddess Durga, they don't really care about the image of Durga itself, um, and how sacred um, Durga views her views the image, how's like Hindus views Durga. They don't really care about that. So all they care is selling their products. Okay, so that is the end of our presentation on Islamic perspective. Okay, I will put this on Italim. Anyone want to ask me anything about this? No? Nobody want to ask? Okay, we move on to ecocriticism, which is another theory. Okay, so ecocriticism is related to our ongoing project at UIA, um, and this is on sustainable development. Yeah, I think you have heard from UIA people who are leading UIA right now that the word is sustainable development. Okay, and then sustainable development goals also is printed on the banners outside of UIA. Okay, so this is related to eco-criticism, even though sustainable development is actually very wide because it covers other aspects as well, not just the environment. Eco-criticism is more concerned with the environment. So the first publication on ecological crisis is the environmental crisis, was Silent Spring in 1962 by Rachel Carson. It highlights the ecological crisis around the world. It shows places that are being polluted, people, farmers using pesticides and so on, so destroying parts of nature and so on. So nowadays we are concerned with sustainable development because we want to protect not only the world but also solve our current problems with the environment so that future generations would be able to live on this planet. So nowadays we are talking about sustainable development because United Nations expects all the countries in the world to be more sustainable by 2030. Okay, as a result of several things such as climate change, where we have climate change. It means basically that our temperature has risen over 1 Celsius in the last 10 years, and it's not expected to do that. It's expected to rise, but in around 50 or I'm not really sure. I think it's 50 or 100 years. So what the temperature has done is that it has risen in 10 years only 1 Celsius, but whereas it should have risen in 50 years or 100 years. The 1 Celsius. So they are fearful that all the ice on the North Pole and uh, South Pole are going to melt, and the sea level has already risen, and uh, people, many countries around this world which is surrounded by water, Malaysia included, will be uh, some parts of Malaysia, for example, and other parts of the world will be below seawater level. So when that happens, we no longer have land. We no longer have land. Some countries are going to drown. They won't have any. They won't be any more countries um, that are, island like. Countries like Singapore, for example, are in danger of the sea rising. Okay, so the three important aspects of sustainable development are environment, social, and economy. Environment is our environment, which is currently being polluted by so many people. Social means that we take care of both our males and females, women and men, also children. So this is also an aspect of sustainable development. And economy is when we take care of our economy, when we make sure that everyone has a job, when we make sure that everyone has um, an income that they can live on. Okay, so all these things are also dependent on each other. Yeah. So if you don't earn a lot, most probably you'll be polluting the environment because you'll be You be deforest. You will search for. You will try to market lumber, right? You will try to sell wood because you want more money. Okay, so there will be deforestation. Okay, so um, and so on. Yeah. So there is a need for collaboration and synergy amongst the government as policymakers and the people to protect the environment as well as the welfare of the people. So you need to do all of this. You need to um, the government and the people need to collaborate. Yeah? I'm just going to make sure that I have actually recorded this session because um, all the sessions need to be recorded. Yeah. Oh, okay, it is recorded. Yeah. So let me just go through this. So the first, this is what we went through just now. Um, so we need to collaborate. The government and people need to collaborate in order to ensure that the projects are successful. They need to work together and synergize means to produce something to solve our problem, to come up with something, new innovations or and new projects and so on. So collaboration and synergy are two very important things in order to protect the environment. So ecocriticism itself is a literary approach to ecological studies, studies on the environment. So ecocriticism takes an earth-centered approach to literary studies rather than on anthropomorphic or human-centered approach. It looks at nature and this theory rather than on humans. Before this, we were talking about humans, right? But now we are talking about nature, how nature appeared in works of literature. So it began in 1960s with the publication of Silent Spring by Rachel Carson, investigate the global ecological crisis through the intersection of literature, culture, and the physical environment. Eco-criticism originated as an idea called literary ecology and was later coined as an ism. So it started with something called literary ecology, which is a combination of literature and ecology. So it's the study of ecology or our environment through literature. And it became an idea in the work of Ruckert. Eco-criticism, eco-criticism expanded as a widely used literary and cultural theory by the early 1990s with the formation of the Association for the Study of Literature and Environment at the Western Literary Association. This is followed by the launching of the flagship journal Isla Interdisciplinary Studies in Literature and Environment in 1993, and then later the publication of the Eco-criticism Reader. Eco-criticism has been divided into waves to historicize the movement in a clear trajectory. The first wave of eco-criticism tended to take a historicized approach to nature, often overlooking more political and theoretical dimensions and tending towards a celebratory approach of wilderness and nature writing. So, example of this eco-criticism is um, when people criticize the works of Henry David Thoreau, who wrote Walden, and William Wordsworth poems. Okay, all the both writers write extensively on nature, and if you want to, people criticize their works by looking at the elements of nature in their works. So the second wave of criticism appeared from 1993. This date is wrong. It was before 1993. It was back in the 18th century. So this one, the second phase appeared in the 1993. It expanded to offer new ways of approaching literary analysis, for example, by theorizing and deconstructing human-centered scholarship in eco-studies, imperialism and ecological degradation, agency for animals and plants, gender and race as ecological concept, and the problems of scale. Okay, and environmental devastation. So you have in the um, wave, a deconstruction of human-centered scholarship in eco-study. It was looking more into nature, huh? Nature, how nature is portrayed in the works of literature, especially when it is polluted, huh? Or when it is imperialized. Imperialized into when people when nature is being colonized, okay, by people, and we try to own it. Okay, so this is an example. Agency for animals and plants. Yeah, so it talks mostly about works of literature that focus on animals and plants, and also say that gender and race is also part of eco-criticism, because gender, for example, women they like to associate themselves with nature. So one can talk about feminism and eco-criticism in that way, by focusing on gender and nature, and race also, because non-Western races are mostly linked with nature, and the problems of scale. Okay, problems of scale is how much of nature have we kind of like explored and um, destroyed in many works of literature. So the third wave of eco-criticism appeared to advocate for a global understanding of eco-critical practices through issues like global warming. Climate change is a major issue with the current phase, the current wave. Yeah, it combines elements from the first and second waves, but aims to move beyond Anglo-American prominence. So this is what is happening currently. Yeah, where there is more emphasis on global warming or climate change. Theories of eco-criticism. The first person to write about ecology and literature, or environment and literature, is Joseph Meeker. In 1972, he published A Comedy of Survival that argued comedy and tragedy as ecological concepts. It connects literary and environmental studies as a cohesive field of study. So Meeker helped pioneer the critical discussion of ecocriticism in what is called literary ecologies. Yeah, so he was showing the importance of environment in works of literature, especially in comedy and tragedy. Yeah. When we have comedy, is actually dramas that are full of happiness, and tragedy, something bad happens. Usually, uh, simply something bad happens in the course of the story. So when you have comedy and tragedy here, um, comedy as in something good happens in the story, the environment is also experiencing this goodness. Okay, so the same with tragedy, the environment suffers when there is a bad happening in the novel or work of literature. So here we have William Ruckert, who published Literature and Ecology in 1978. He actually coined the term eco-criticism, arguing for a way to find the grounds upon which the two, human and natural, can coexist, cooperate, and flourish in the biosphere. So he wants to know how to protect both human and nature. Eco-criticism as a literary and cultural theory significantly expanded in 1990s, paralleling though other forms of literary and cultural theory such as posthumanism and critical place studies, largely due to the publication of Cheryl Gottfelty and Harold Fromm, the first edition of collection of essays and anthology that introduced a comprehensive critical outline of eco-criticism. So, what do eco-critics ask when they want to write about write about a novel using the eco-criticism approach. Yeah? They ask how is nature represented in the piece of literature. They ask what role does the physical setting play in the plot of the story. Are the values expressed in this play consistent with ecological wisdom? How do our metaphors of the land influence the way we treat it? In addition to race, class, and gender, should place become a new category? Do men write differently about nature and women? How has the concept of wilderness changed over time? And in what ways is the environment crisis seeping into contemporary literature and popular culture? So these are some of the questions that we ask, that the eco-criticism will ask. So how is nature represented in the piece of literature? That is the most important question. And then we have something within eco-criticism, which is ecofeminism. Yeah. Ecofeminism is about primarily analyzing the content, interconnection of the oppression of women and nature. It draws parallels between the domination of land and the domination of men over women. Ecofeminists examine this hierarchical gendered relationship in which the land is often equated with the feminine, seen as a fertile resource and a property of men. So ecofeminists look at the connection between the oppression of nature when people start to do deforestation and, for example, through logging, how women can also, in a metaphorical way, in a figurative way, be oppressed by men. So nature, by the way, also is mother nature. It's a feminine um, noun. Okay, so by destroying the forest, we destroy the mother nature. So drawing parallels, ecofeminists argue this hierarchical gendered relationship in which the land is often equated with the feminine, seen as fertile resource and property of man. So ecofeminists examine how land is equated with the feminine, how it becomes feminine and be seen as a fertile resource and a property of man. You know? So the two camps of ecofeminist school, the first referred to as radical ecofeminism. This is the humanist ecofeminism, and humanist feminism reverses the patriarchal domination of men over women and nature, exalting nature, the non-human and the emotional. This approach embraces the idea that women are inherently closer to nature biologically, spiritually, and emotionally. So it refers to radical ecofeminism, which we show that um, which challenges the patriarchal man's domination over women and also nature, by exalting nature, by saying that nature is the best, is non-human um, and also emotional. So it relates to um, women, all of these aspects like emotional, for example, and mother nature, the use of mother nature relates to women, and it's showing that men are trying to dominate women through dominating nature. So the second camp, which followed the first historically, maintains that there is no such thing as feminine essence. The women and men cannot be linked to nature because there is no such thing as feminine essence, because there's nothing that makes us more feminine or less feminine than men. So the second wave feminist engagement with technology has been characterized by the eco-feminist use of the ancient identity of nature as a nurturing mother, which shows the deep alliance between the feminist and the ecological. So ecofeminists also use the ancient identity of nature as a nurturing mother to support their views, to support nature. Ecofeminism argues that uncontrolled growth associated with capitalism and technology and progress has sanctioned the domination of both nature and women. So they say also capitalism, technology, progress has limited the power of nature and women. Ecofeminists assert the political importance of reclaiming both the natural and the female maternal from the grips of an exploitative scientific patriarchalism. They also say that science is man, but nature is woman. The ancient identity of nature as a nurturing mother links women's history and the history of the environment and ecological change. Both the women's movement and the ecological movement are sharply critical of the cost of competition, aggression, and domination arising from the market economy modus operandi in nature and society. The second camp, which is followed the first, historically maintained that there is no such thing as a feminine essence that would make women more likely to connect with technology. So the first camp would be against technology because technology is associated with males. Um, and they say that the technology brings about competition, aggression, and domination arising from the market economy. Yeah? When we try to um, sell our products, we become very competitive to other people. And as a result, we may misuse elements of nature. For example, when we want to make money from selling chicken, for example, sometimes we inject. There are farmers who inject their chicken with growth hormones that are meant to make the chicken big. So this is caused by competition between the chicken sellers, and this will be a cause of destruction for people when they eat the chicken. So key concepts is one of them is anthropocentrism, which is the view that the interests of humans are of higher priority than non-humans. Now the opposite is ecocentrism or biocentrism. The ecocentrism, however, has many responses to anthropocentrism, even though it's supposed to be directly opposite of anthropocentrism. The first position that it can take is that it is that of positive conviction. And positive conviction means strong anthropocentrism that human interest should prevail over other interests by other animals or other creations. So, to the belief that zero-degree anthropocentrism is not feasible or desirable. So, I know you can put, you can say that environmentalists want to save the planet because they want to save people. They want to make sure that they can live in this planet. So they have a strong anthropocentrism because there is emphasis on humans there. But there is also low emphasis in human rights, for example, because in some places, like the zoos, for example, if the humans were, sometimes you read about humans who go into the lion's den and so on, and they get killed because these people go there maybe for the sake of fun, okay, having fun, and so on, and thrill, some kind of thrill, yeah. But at the end, the animals get killed because they have killed a certain that person. So this is not not some environmentalists, they don't like this the killing of the wild animals because they say that the people are at fault here. Okay, so there is they hold on to the belief in the zero-degree belief in anthropocentrism. Most would argue that it is entirely possible without hypocrisy to maintain biocentric values in principle while recognizing that the practice must be constrained by anthropocentric consideration, whether as a matter of strategy or as a matter of intractable self-interestedness. So biocentric values like that places importance of people is important, but according to most people, they must also be constrained by other considerations. So, in essence, life is not all about human beings, human rights, and so on. So, other animals, other creations also have rights. Yeah? And speciesism is a direct offshoot of anthropocentrism because it assumes that all other species of life are subordinate to the human. Speciesism believe that all non-human beings are lower, lesser creations, life forms that are ugly, strong, presumably threatening or humanity or just different are depicted as monsters under speciesism. This can be killed, mutilated, and displaced with impunity. Another okay, okay, those are the two terms that you can find in eco-criticism. So, what do eco-critics do? They reread media literary works from an ecocentric perspective with particular attention to the representation of the natural world. The second is that they extend the applicability of the range of ecocentric concepts using them on things other than natural world, concepts such as growth and energy balance and imbalance, symbols and mutuality and sustainable and unsustainable. So if you find essays that uses this word, then you know that is a work of eco-criticism. They give special attention to writers who foreground nature as a major part of their subject matter, such as the American Transcendentalists and the British Romantics. So, um, uh, other writers who put a lot of emphasis on nature, such as the American Transcendentalists and the British Romantics, are also studied and form a major. Their study form a major part of the eco-criticism class or classes all around the world. So the extent number four is that extend the range of literary critical practice by placing a new emphasis on factual writing. So in essays, travel writings, memoirs, regional literature, you have this element of um, or emphasis on ecology and environment. So they turn away, the next one, they turn away from the social constructivism or socially constructed idea and linguistic determinism of dominant literary theories and emphasize ecocentric values, collective ethical responsibility, and the extent of the world beyond ourselves. So they emphasize on ecocentric values, collective ethical responsibility to take care of the world, and so on. So the phrases of nature often used is the wilderness, which signifies deserts, oceans, uninhabited continents, the scenic sublime, forests, lakes, mountains, cliffs, waterfall, the countryside, hills, fields, woods, the domestic picturesque, parks, gardens, and lanes. So example for more example of the use of ecocentrism in application, you can look at this website here, this YouTube video. So I'm going to show to you my own also interpretation of some literary work. Now this is a poem by A.R. Emmon. It's simply titled Garbage. Garbage has to be the poem of our time because garbage is spiritual, believable enough to get our attention, getting in the way, piling up, stinking and turning brooks, brownish and creamy white. What else deflects us from the errors of our illusionary race? So this is saying that we are living in a world that's full of pollution, full of garbage, and we have accepted this as the way of life. Whereas we could have adopted a more ecological friendly attitude towards life. And then another poem, La Belle Dame Sans Mercy, applies ecofeminism. Can be read to an ecofeminist work because in the poem there is a woman who tries to entice a knight in the jungle, and then she succeeds at doing this. Actually, it's not actually a woman; it's just an elfin or elf or fairy, some type of super creature, and she brings him to her elfin grot, and there he falls asleep, and then he dreams of many characters um, that are pale kings and princess that have been put that have had a spell cast on them by the same woman. Okay, and they all get lost in the wilderness. So this is it shows women as being a temptress, a seducer, and it's not really good. uh, to protect her. But then the woman is also connected to nature, so nature itself is kind of like not a very positive side. It's full of temptations and so on. So then the last work of literature is the Tempest. The Tempest is simply about a duke's family who is who are shipwrecked, and then they end up as castaway in an island, in a deserted island. But instead of just surviving, the male character, who is also a magician, he builds himself a palace there, and he controls the land. So this is showing Miranda is his daughter, and she is showing how much she has, and in terms of power to control others. Islam also supports sustainable development. I did not go into this much, but there are many books that show how Islam is supportive of uh, environmental solutions to our problem. Yeah, and so on their biography. So, anyone wants to ask anything? Anyone wants to say anything? I hope it's understandable. Maybe some of you, I think, have problems with applying the theories. Um, so next week we're going to go through one more lesson, and then for the rest of the class until the end, I'll be talking to you. I'll be asking you whether I'll be looking at your blogs first, and then I'll be asking you whether you understood the lesson or not. So we are going to have some kind of revision, okay, before the finals. So anyone wants to say anything?
Doctor,
Yes.
uh, I don't understand the relation between this emphasis on patriarchy and men with science and ecocriticism. Yeah.
You don't understand the relationship between men and science, is it?
Uh,
Yeah, and women and nature.
uh-huh.
Yeah, um, ecofeminists, they try to link nature with women, because nature, Mother Nature in English language, is always called Mother Nature. Why is it? Why is the word mother there? Um, so in their language, in English language, nature is given a feminine form. So they take pride in this. The eco-feminists take pride in this because they say that science, technology, they belong to men. After all, if we look at the history of science, you see many scientists, right? Many male scientists, but very few female scientists. Okay, so um, instead of feeling down about this, feeling blue about this, the feminists, they look at nature and say that, oh, maybe that's because men are more prone to study science, women are more prone to study anything related to nature, and they also take pride of the fact that women are the ones who give birth to children. Yeah, so they are part of nature. They produce children, the next generation, and so on. Um, so they try to make more of that because they support women's and women's rights and so on. Yeah, so they show that women is because in their culture, women are feminine and men are masculine. So men are better than women, right? In the binary opposition. So in this way, by talking about nature and its importance to preserve nature, the importance of preserving nature, eco-feminists are saying that women are better than men. Okay, because we are part of nature. We are nature. We are natural. We give birth. We are closer to nature. Mother Nature is a woman rather than a man. Yeah. So do you understand? Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
okay. So anyone else wants to say anything? Have any question to ask? Anyone?
Doctor,
Yes.
I want to ask a question, but it's not related to ecocentrism. It's related to the video. Um,
To do what?
video.
Oh, video.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So when is the last date to submit a video? It's on the week 12, right? But when is the last?
Yeah. Everyone said week 12 is the last day, but actually, when you see it, the just want to show you the day of the our what do you call that, our calendar. Okay. Or the, yeah, this calendar. This is calendar for this semester. Okay. So today is the 24th, right? 24th. Okay. So you look at the last next week is the 12th, and no, I'm sure every of your teacher, every one of your teacher would say that the last day is in week 12, right? So even though that is true, because if you look at this, um, the we need lecturers to publish 60% of camp by the by week 12 by Friday. Okay, so we can technically say that the last day is actually not Friday, because the last day we are expected to publish 60% camp already. You have to give us time to mark also, right? So everyone should actually publish, or maybe not publish, but come up with the video and blog before the 30th of next week, 30th of December. Okay, see, yeah. You can see this? Oh, you cannot see this. Sorry about that. Okay, see this? This is the um, this is week 12. Okay, this is week. It's not. There are pages missing here. This is week 11, right? 24th. Okay, and then next week is the 12th week. So the 12th week by Friday, we are expected to publish also 60% camp. So you should work on the blog and YouTube at least by the very least 30th. Okay, even then I don't really have time to have enough time if you submit that late. Okay, but hopefully I will try to make it by the 30th, because by the 31st you are expected to publish the camp already, 60%, and the final 40% actually comes from the finals that we have, right? So everything should have been there. You understand? Is that clear? Hello?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. So that is the day.
And the video is free.
Yeah. So I told you just now that today is 30th December, but don't try to submit on the last day, right? Try to make it earlier than that. Try to finish earlier, because no, I don't really have a lot of time to give you marks. So I'll try to complete everything, but don't do everything last minute. You never know what kind of problem you will encounter during the last minute submission, right? Try to submit earlier lah. Okay. Hello. Okay. We try to submit
Okay.
earlier. We can have a class, like, because we have one more class on disability studies, okay, which is on technically on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. I think we have to go through that class again. I mean, we have to study that subject. by Tuesday. So by Thursday next week, um, you can submit. Yeah, and if I have any complaints and all that, so I will tell you before Thursday. I will have a look at the uh, blog blog elements and so on, or the video. Okay, and the video as well. So try to submit uh, on that day. Maybe we can meet sometime, some different time. Um, I don't know. Maybe we can set a day, yeah, where we will sit down and look at what you have done. Yeah, but you are supposed to submit already many of the things by week 12, by 30th of December. Okay. Anything anyone wants to say? Why do you want to submit late? Have you done the video? Hello,
Hello. No, it's not that I want to submit late. I just want to do
video
the
assignment.
yes.
Okay, video assignment is simply informative and educational. You have to explain the theory. Okay, and it can be something that is fun. You don't have to be, you don't have to explain like a teacher. You can explain like a comedian, or maybe you can act out the theory. We can create a video like um, like a sketch. You can come up with an advertisement also, which is about the environment. Uh, or you can come up with a video that is that shows, if you are doing psychoanalysis, you can come up with a sketch that shows all the three persons talking up, one being the it, the other the conscious, and then the unconscious, and then the super ego talking to each other. You can do that via Google Meet. You don't have to produce a video, edit, and so on. You can just meet each other on Google Meet and then record this, okay, and then just submit that. Am I clear? It's more like fun. It can be fun. It has more fun in it. A bit of education is still fine. Um, Hello, am I being clear?
Inshallah.
Yeah. Are we
Yeah.
allowed to documentary video? Yeah, you can if you want to document something. What do you mean by documentary video? What do you mean by that? Actually, the form is very loose.
Documentary video is like doing a voiceover of
Ah,
a series of compilation of videos.
yeah,
Can
you
we
can
do
do
that?
that. Yeah, you can do that. Um, but try not to. You can take other people's video, a bit of that, but you have to be. You have to know that if you take too much of other people's video, it will be, because you're going to put this on YouTube, right? People can sue you. Yeah, if you put too much, but you can put little, a bit of every video in there in your video, but not too much. Okay. Some people in the past they put like the whole entire video of other people's video. They put other people's video in their video to show to their class, like the whole video came from other people. Okay, that is wrong by copyright laws. So you cannot do that. If someone catches you, they can take you to court. So don't try to copy all. No, don't try to take all your videos from other people. Maybe a bit. One video can come from source A. The other, no, the other bit video can come from source B, and so on. So it can be a compilation of videos rather than one whole video taken from another person. Again, then claiming that it's your work. So yeah, you can take from other videos, but you have to contribute. You have to show your contribution as well. Anything? Does that answer your question?
Thank you.
Okay.
Mm.
So, anyone else have any question to ask? The best thing also is to produce your own video. You can just take a picture of yourself and others. Um, I don't know. Maybe because we live in the COVID era. In the past, they used to. One of my students used to go to the or few of my students they went to the art gallery and they took National Art Gallery and they took some pictures of they made a video of their visit, maybe illegally, I don't know, but they took the videos and they produced them into a video, and then with that their picture inside also. Another person actually went to Shah Alam, and there is a mural, in Shah Alam, mural about the arts and so on. So this person took a picture of it and created their own the group video with the help of the other members. They created a video on the mural in Shah Alam. So they said that this is their visit and this is how they understood the murals, like as works, as modernist works and so on. So you can do that. Um, okay, so I don't. Anyone has any more questions to ask? You can also ask. Maybe you can ask your parents, for example, or maybe, yeah, your siblings about their experiences. If you're doing something on feminism, you can ask them, have they encountered any discrimination because they are women and they are females and all that. Just maybe you can ask your relatives as well. You can take a picture and then share with your friends and let them do some work also. Okay, maybe your friends also can contribute, yeah, in a way. If you know how to edit the video, so you don't have to be on the video itself. You can be doing the editing work, but put all the names inside the video and the introduction. Okay. Um, so in the introduction, put your name there. Anything you want to ask? If you're doing modernist, postmodernist works, for example, you can draw a picture that is postmodernist, and they can ask people, do they understand what you're drawing? Okay, so anything else anyone wants to say? Hello? Anyone else has any question? Do you have all? Do all of you have a video ready? Do you have an idea about how to produce the video? Yeah, where is this? I think it's joining us very late here. Um, does anyone here have any question about the video? You can, if you want to do on postmodernism, also you can go to the shops and try to get pictures of all the brands, or maybe you can find elements of simulacra in real life, and then show that in your video. Uh, what else? Hello?
Doctor,
Yes.
can we do our video like teach the theory by application, like maybe analyzing a novel or a movie through the video?
Yeah, you can talk about a movie. If you want to, you can talk about movies. And maybe show part of it, the movie, and then talk about it. Yeah, I can do that. Did I answer your questions, Wiley?
Yes, yes, doctor.
Yeah. Anyone else has any question? No, nobody. Okay, so if you want to, you can show. Yeah, I don't know. It's very the video is not something formal. It can be informal, it can be fun, so on. So it can be make believe. Huh? So it can be entertaining. It should be entertaining as well. In fact, it could be entertainment. Huh? It should be entertainment. By the way, anyone wants to say anything? Oh, you can use Google Meet if you find it very difficult to come up with an edited video, right? You can just Google Meet and record yourself, record all your friends. If you're doing psychoanalysis, for example, you can have many people assuming different characters in psychoanalysis, and then just tape yourself talking to each other. Yeah. Or then even produce a documentary based on that, based on this Google Meet. Okay, so no more questions. Okay, no more. Okay, so I will say goodbye then. Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Thank you
you,
very much,
Doctor.
Doctor.
Thank you.